The bright monitors of NASA's Deep Space Monitoring Station lit up the otherwise dark room. It was just past midnight when the unusual signal patterns appeared on screen. The technician on duty, Andy Clark, rubbed his tired eyes and leaned forward. This wasn't normal space noise. The signal had a pattern: 3 short bursts, 2 long ones, repeated with exact precision. "Dr. Wells, you need to see this," Andy said into his comm unit. Dr. Kate Wells had been working at the Arecibo 2 Observatory for 15 years. She had analyzed countless signals from space, but nothing like what she saw now. The signal was coming from the Tau Ceti system, just 12 light-years from Earth, close in astronomical terms. "Run it through all analysis protocols," she ordered, her fingers flying across her tablet. "And get me the director on the line." Within hours, the news had reached the highest levels of government. Within days, it reached the public. An artificial signal, not random, not natural. Someone, something, was out there, and they were trying to communicate. Commander Greg Nichols stood at attention in the United Earth Space Force headquarters. At 42, he had the sharp eyes of someone who had seen combat and the steady hands of someone who knew how to stay calm when everything went wrong. "Commander Nichols, you've been selected to lead our first contact team," General Rivera said, sliding a folder across the table. "The signal has been deciphered, its coordinates, they're coming to us." Greg nodded, his face betraying nothing of the excitement and fear churning inside him. "When do they arrive, sir?" 6 days. The world held its breath as the alien vessel entered Earth orbit. It was unlike anything humans had designed, shaped like a crescent moon with glowing blue lines pulsing along its hull. No visible engines, no visible weapons, just sleek, impossible beauty. Commander Nichols and his team waited at the designated landing zone in the New Mexico desert. Beside him stood Lily Martinez, the diplomat chosen to represent Earth in this historic moment. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun, her suit perfectly pressed despite the desert heat. "What do you think they want?" Lily asked quietly. "Let's hope it's friendship," Greg replied, eyes fixed on the sky where a small craft had detached from the main vessel and was descending toward them. The landing was silent. No roar of engines, no disturbance of the sand. One moment the craft was in the air, the next it rested on the ground as if it had always been there. A door appeared in its seamless side, sliding open to reveal a ramp, and then they saw them, the aliens. They were tall and thin, with 4 arms and skin that shimmered, like oil on water. Their large eyes had no pupils, just an inky blackness that somehow managed to convey intelligence. 3 of them walked down the ramp with fluid grace. The one in front wore something like a collar around its long neck. When it spoke, the collar glowed. "People of Earth, I am Ziltox of the Vexnari. We come in peace and against orders." The translator devices the humans wore took a moment to process these last words. Lily stepped forward. "Against orders? Whose orders?" Ziltox made a gesture with his upper arms that might have been a shrug. "The Galactic Council. They have declared your solar system quarantined. No contact permitted until your species has matured beyond its warlike tendencies." Greg and Lily exchanged glances. Humanity wasn't alone in the universe. There was a whole council of alien species out there, and they had judged humanity and found it wanting. "How many species are in this council?" Greg asked. 87 voting members, 32 non-voting associates, Ziltox replied. "We Vexnari are traders. We believe in free exchange of goods and knowledge. The council's restrictions are bad for business." Over the next days, as diplomatic talks continued in a hastily constructed secure facility, the humans learned more. The Galactic Council had been watching Earth for centuries. They had protocols for bringing new species into the galactic community, and humans had failed those protocols repeatedly. "Your world wars concerned them greatly," Ziltox explained to a room of world leaders and military officials. "Your nuclear weapons, your environmental damage. The Council voted to place Earth under observation only. No contact until you achieved unity and environmental balance." "Then why are you here?" asked the Secretary General of the United Nations. Because not all of us agree with the Council's methods, said Ziltox. Some of us believe trade and cultural exchange accelerate development, and some of us need new markets and allies. It was Lily who grasped the situation first. You're not just breaking rules, you're rebels. Ziltox's skin rippled with colors, their version of laughter they had learned. Rebels is a strong word. Let's say we are independent thinkers. And we are not alone. Several species disagree with the Council's quarantine policies. What happens if the Council discovers you've contacted us? Greg asked. Sanctions, restrictions. Possibly worse for us. For you? Ziltox paused. Nothing good. They might accelerate your development through controlled introduction of technologies. Or they might decide your species is too unpredictable and take more drastic measures. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. What are you offering us? Lily finally asked. Technology. Knowledge. A head start, said Ziltox. In exchange for sanctuary, a place for ourselves and other like-minded species to conduct business beyond Council oversight. The debate among Earth's leaders was intense. Some worried about trusting aliens who were already breaking their own laws. Others saw an opportunity to advance human civilization by centuries. In the end, pragmatism won out. Earth needed the technology if there was a hostile galaxy out there, and having allies, even rebel allies, seemed better than facing the Council alone. A month after first contact, a secret agreement was signed. Earth would provide sanctuary for Council-defying aliens in exchange for technology. The knowledge would be carefully introduced to avoid economic disruption. The alien presence would be hidden from the general public until humanity was ready for the truth. Greg Nichols was appointed head of security for the new alien embassy, hidden deep in the Rocky Mountains. Lily Martinez became Earth's first ambassador to non-Council-aligned species, and Dr. Kate Wells began the enormous task of translating alien scientific knowledge into forms human scientists could understand. Do you think we made the right choice? Lily asked Greg one evening, as they watched Ziltox and his crew set up their communication array. The Council made their choice when they decided to keep us in the dark, Greg replied. They could have helped us, guided us. Instead, they judged us from afar. And now we're conspiring with rebels. Greg smiled. Throughout human history, progress has often come from those willing to break the rules. Maybe it's the same across the galaxy. Across the room, Ziltox was showing a human engineer a device smaller than a coin that could power a small city. In another corner, a Vexenari medical officer was explaining to amazed human doctors how to regrow damaged organs. Besides, Greg added, humans have always been good at taking advantage of opportunities. The Council gave us one by trying to keep us isolated. They should have remembered that forbidden fruit tastes sweetest. As night fell over the new facility, more alien ships were already on their way to Earth, carrying technology, knowledge, and rebels who had heard that humans were open for business. The Galactic Council had made their rules. The aliens had ignored those rules, and humanity was about to change the game entirely. 5 years had passed since the Vexenari first landed on Earth. The world had changed in ways few could have imagined. Dr. Sam Cooper stood at the window of his office in the Earth Science Directorate, watching workers assemble what would become the world's 100th fusion power plant. Based on Vexenari designs, these plants had replaced fossil fuels across most of the planet. Clean energy, unlimited power, and no radiation, a miracle that had transformed Earth's economy and environment. The Council patrol ship has left the solar system, said his assistant from the doorway. They didn't detect anything unusual. Sam nodded, relief washing over him. Another inspection passed. Another secret kept. The Galactic Council still believed Earth was developing normally, unaware that humans had leapfrogged centuries of technological development thanks to their alien allies. Tell Captain Wright she can bring the Nova Dawn back from the dark side of Neptune, he said. And let the lunar base know they can resume normal operations. The Nova Dawn was humanity's first faster-than-light ship. Built in secret using alien technology, it had already made test jumps to nearby star systems. Captain Olivia Wright had proven to be a natural at FTL navigation, earning the respect of even the alien engineers who had helped design the ship. Sam's comm unit buzzed. "Dr. Cooper, this is Ben Harlow at Lunar Security. We have a situation with our guests." The lunar base, hidden on the far side of the moon, housed nearly 300 alien refugees from a dozen different species. All were rebels against the Galactic Council's policies in one way or another. Managing their different needs, biological, requirements and occasional conflicts had fallen to Ben Harlow, a former Marine with a surprising talent for alien diplomacy. "What's the problem, Ben?" Sam asked. "The Praxi delegation is demanding more lab space. They say they're close to a breakthrough on their neural interface technology, but the Keldar need the same space for their gravity manipulation experiments." Sam sighed. Alien politics were as complicated as human ones. "Tell them they'll both get what they need. We're expanding the Eastern Cavern Complex next month." "Will do," Ben replied. "By the way, that Praxi medical tech they shared last year? The hospitals in Chicago are reporting a 97% success rate on cancer treatments now. This was the bargain Earth had made. Sanctuary for advanced knowledge. And so far, it was paying off beyond their wildest hopes." Later that day, Sam met with Lily Martinez in the secure conference room beneath Denver. Once a diplomat for First Contact, Lily now coordinated Earth's secret network of alien allies across the galaxy. "The Athari have reached out," she said, sliding a data pad across the table. "They're a council species, but they disagree with the quarantine policy. They've been watching our progress." Sam reviewed the data. The Athari were philosophers and scientists, ancient even by galactic standards. "They want to meet with us, officially?" "Not officially. That would alert the council," Lily corrected. "But they're offering technical assistance with our defensive systems. They believe the council hardliners might eventually discover our advancement and react badly." Sam frowned. Earth's defensive capabilities had improved dramatically, but they were still far behind the major council powers. "Do they think we're in danger?" "Not immediately, but the Athari take the long view. They measure plans in centuries, not years." Lily's expression was serious. "They say we should prepare for the day our secret gets out." At the lunar base, Captain Olivia Wright was supervising the Nova Dawn's maintenance cycle. The ship looked like nothing built on Earth before. Sleek and silver with a strange geometry that seemed to bend when viewed from certain angles. "How's she handling?" asked Ziltox, who had remained on Earth as the primary Vexnari liaison. "Like a dream," Olivia said with pride. "We've mapped 11 systems now, found 2 habitable planets." Ziltox's skin rippled with colors. "Your species adapts quickly. Most take decades to master FTL navigation." "We had good teachers," Olivia replied with a smile. "And a lot of motivation. When do you think we should tell the general public about all this?" It was the question everyone in the program wrestled with. Most of Earth's population still believed that contact with aliens was limited to diplomatic exchanges. They knew nothing of the lunar base, the advanced technology, or the Nova Dawn. The secret had been kept to prevent panic and to hide their advancements from council observers. "Soon," Ziltox said thoughtfully. "Your people have shown remarkable stability despite rapid technological change, but the council grows suspicious. Our trader networks report increased patrols in this sector." An alarm sounded, interrupting their conversation. Ben Harlow's voice came over the comm. "Captain Wright, Dr. Cooper, we have an unscheduled visitor. Council diplomatic vessel approaching Earth orbit." Olivia and Ziltox exchanged alarmed glances. "Hide the Nova Dawn in the crater bunker," she ordered her crew. "All aliens to secure areas, standard protocol." Across the lunar base, aliens of various species hurried to their hiding places. The base appeared to be nothing more than a scientific research station from the outside, and all traces of alien technology were hidden behind false walls and in underground chambers. On Earth, Sam Cooper and Lily Martinez prepared to meet the unexpected council representative. They had rehearsed for this moment, but both felt the weight of what was at stake. The council ship landed at the designated diplomatic zone in Australia. A tall crystalline being emerged, Shurkan of the Tyrillian species, a council inspector. "We detect unusual energy signatures from your planet," Shurkan said, after formal greetings were exchanged. "Your fusion technology is advancing rapidly." Lily smiled pleasantly. "We've had some breakthroughs in clean energy. Would you like a tour of our facilities?" "That would be agreeable," the inspector said, its crystal body reflecting sunlight in rainbow patterns. For the next 3 days, Shurkan visited carefully prepared facilities around the world. All signs of alien assistance had been hidden. Human scientists took credit for developments that had actually come from their alien allies. The inspector scanned, measured, and observed everything. On the final day, as the council ship prepared to depart, Shurkan addressed Sam directly. "Your progress is impressive, Dr. Cooper. Some on the council will be concerned by its speed." "We're simply motivated to improve our world," Sam replied carefully. Indeed. The crystalline being seemed to shimmer with intensity. "Not all species advance at the same rate. But remember, there is wisdom in the council's caution. Some technologies can be dangerous if acquired too quickly." After the council ship departed, Earth's leaders gathered at the secure facility. The close call had shaken them all. "They suspect something," Lily said, voicing what everyone feared. "But they have no proof," Ben pointed out. "And we passed their inspection." "This time," Sam said quietly. "But Shurkan was right about one thing. We're moving very fast, maybe too fast." Captain Wright shook her head. "We can't slow down now. Not when we know what's out there. We need to be ready when the council discovers the truth." As night fell over the facility, the Nova Dawn rose silently from its lunar hiding place and slipped into the darkness of space. On board, Olivia Wright studied the coordinates for their next mission. A secret meeting with Athari representatives in a system beyond council monitoring. Earth was walking a dangerous path between worlds. The council's rules had been broken. There was no going back now, only forward into an uncertain future among the stars. 10 years had passed since the Vexnari first landed on Earth. Humanity's secret expansion into the stars was no longer limited to just one ship or one hidden base. Human outposts now existed in 5 nearby star systems, carefully hidden from council patrols. The Nova Dawn glided silently through the darkness of space, its advanced engines leaving no trace for council sensors to detect. Captain Olivia Wright, now Admiral Wright, stood on the bridge looking at the strange beauty of the Athari homeworld on the main screen. Its 3 moons cast multiple shadows across purple oceans and golden continents. "We're cleared for landing at the Cultural Research Facility, Admiral," her pilot reported. Olivia nodded. "Take us in quietly." The Cultural Research Facility was actually the first human embassy on an alien world. Disguised as a place where the Athari studied primitive species like humans, it was in truth a center for cooperation between Earth and their most powerful secret ally. As the ship descended, Olivia thought about how far they had come. The Nova Dawn was now just one of 12 FTL-capable ships in Earth's growing fleet, and humans had proven remarkably adaptable to life among the stars. Laura Dixon waited for Olivia in the landing bay. As Chief of Intelligence, Laura coordinated the network of human and alien spies that kept Earth informed about council activities. Her short red hair and freckles made her look younger than her 40 years, an appearance that had helped her blend in on several alien worlds. Humans, they had discovered, could pass for members of several different alien species with simple disguises. "Welcome to Athari Prime, Admiral," Laura said with a smile. "How was the journey?" "Smooth. No council patrols detected," Olivia replied as they walked through the curved corridors of the facility. "What's so urgent? Your message said it couldn't wait." Laura's expression turned serious. "The council is starting to notice the pattern. Too many irregularities in too many places. They don't know it's us yet, but they're looking for someone breaking their precious rules." They entered a secure meeting room where 3 Athari were waiting. The Athari were tall beings with 6 limbs and iridescent skin, that seemed to capture and reflect the thoughts of those around them. Their large compound eyes took in everything with ancient wisdom. "Admiral Wright," said Trelvak, the eldest of the Athari. "We have grave news. The Council has formed a special enforcement division to investigate unauthorized technology transfers. They suspect a coordinated effort to break quarantine protocols in multiple systems." "How close are they to discovering Earth's involvement?" Olivia asked. "Not close yet," said another Athari named Zell. "But the Voth species is leading the investigation. They are thorough, and they have never approved of our interest in younger species. The Voth were one of the oldest and most militaristic Council species. They believed in strict hierarchies and absolute obedience to Council law. We need to accelerate our plans," Laura said. "If they discover what we've been doing before we're ready." "Agreed," said Olivia. "Captain Kelly, what's the status of the Defiance?" Ryan Kelly had been sitting quietly in the corner. He commanded, Earth's first true military starship, hidden in the Kuiper Belt beyond Neptune. The Defiance was built for speed and power, designed to protect Earth if the worst happened. "Ready for action," Ryan said. "But one ship won't be enough if the Voth bring their fleet. Which is why we need more time," Trelvak said. "Your species has advanced remarkably in just 10 years, but the Council has been enforcing its will for thousands of years. Their combined fleets could overwhelm even our defenses." The meeting continued for hours as they discussed strategies. The humans had established several advantages. Their ability to blend in among aliens had created opportunities for intelligence gathering. The joint ventures between humans and rebel aliens had established trade routes that bypassed Council monitoring. And Earth's rapid adoption of alien technology had surprised even their allies. But they needed more time. As the meeting concluded, Olivia returned to her ship with new orders. Earth would expand its secret colonies, increase production of ships and weapons, and prepare for eventual discovery. It was no longer a question of if the Council would find out, but when. On the journey back to Earth, Olivia stopped at Proxima, Centauri, where the first human colony outside the solar system had been established. 3,000 people lived there now, in a settlement hidden beneath the surface of a rocky world that Council surveys had dismissed as uninhabitable. The colony governor, Alan Carter, met her at the airlock. "Admiral, welcome to New Hope." "How are your people holding up?" Olivia asked as they walked through the underground passages. "Good spirits. The new hydroponic system the Praxi designed is working perfectly. We're completely self-sufficient now." Alan pointed to children playing in a large open area where artificial sunlight streamed down from ceiling panels. "That's our first generation of humans born outside the solar system." The sight filled Olivia with both pride and worry. These children knew about aliens, about the Council, about the precarious position Earth was in. They had never known a world where humans were alone in the universe. "Any Council activity in the system?" she asked. "A patrol ship passed through 2 months ago. They scanned the planet from orbit but detected nothing. Our shield technology worked perfectly." When Olivia returned to Earth, she found the situation had grown more tense. An emergency meeting had been called at the main facility in the Rocky Mountains. Sam Cooper, now head of the Earth Defense Council, looked older than his years as he briefed the assembled leaders. "A Council enforcer ship captured one of our trading partners in the Epsilon Eridani system. They were carrying Earth-manufactured goods." "Do they know the goods came from Earth?" Laura Dixon asked. "Not yet, but they're investigating. The Voth are leading the inquiry," Sam replied. "The Voth again," Olivia said grimly. "They're everywhere we turned lately." Ben Harlow, who now coordinated relations between the growing number of alien refugees on Luna and other human settlements, spoke up. "Our lunar population is approaching 2,000 now. If the Council discovers them, they won't," Sam assured him. "The new cloaking field makes the entire base invisible to their sensors, but everyone in the room knew their secret could not be kept forever. Sooner or later, the Council would discover that Earth had not only made contact with alien species, but had been trading, building ships, and establishing colonies for a decade. We need allies on the Council itself," Lily Martinez said. She had spent years building diplomatic bridges with sympathetic alien species. The Athari support us, but they're just one voice. We need more. And we need more ships, Ryan Kelly added. The Defiance can't stand alone. As the meeting continued into the night, Olivia looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, Council ships were searching for whoever was breaking their rules. Earth had taken advantage of the opportunity offered when aliens ignored the Council's orders. But now they were racing against time to be strong enough to face the consequences when the truth was finally revealed. And that day was coming soon. 20 years had passed since the Vexnari ship first landed on Earth. In that time, humanity had gone from a single-planet species to an interstellar civilization with colonies on 3 exoplanets and a fleet of starships hidden throughout the solar system. Admiral Olivia Wright stood in the command center of Titan Base, watching the holographic display of Earth's defense grid. Dozens of ships moved in careful patterns, constantly training for the day they would need to defend their homeworld. Admiral, we're receiving an urgent message from Ambassador Delgado on Athari Prime, said her communications officer. Frank Delgado had replaced Lily Martinez as Earth's primary diplomat to their alien allies. His face appeared on the main screen, his expression grim. Admiral, the Council has called an emergency session, he reported. They have evidence of advanced technology on Earth. Someone leaked information about our FTL capabilities. Olivia felt a cold knot in her stomach. How bad is it? Bad. The Voth are pushing for immediate quarantine enforcement. They're calling for a fleet to be dispatched to Earth. How much time do we have? The Athari are delaying the vote, but days at most. Maybe hours, Frank replied. I'm working with our allies, but the hardliners have a strong position. They're using us as an example of why the quarantine system must be enforced. After Frank's message ended, Olivia called an emergency meeting of Earth's Defense Council. The leaders gathered quickly in the secure chamber beneath the Rocky Mountains. We always knew this day would come, Sam Cooper said, his hair now completely white. The question is, are we ready? We have 27 combat-capable ships, Ryan Kelly reported. The commander of the Defiance had become the fleet's tactical leader. Another 15 in various stages of completion. The planetary defense grid is operational but untested. And our allies? Olivia asked. Laura Dixon, still heading intelligence operations, looked up from her datapad. The Athari will support us openly. 3 other Council species say they'll remain neutral. The rest? She shook her head. Most won't directly oppose the Council. So we stand essentially alone, Sam said quietly. Ben Harlow spoke up. Not alone. We have nearly 10,000 alien residents in our settlements now. Many have already volunteered to fight alongside us if it comes to that. The discussion continued as they reviewed battle plans and diplomatic options. Earth had prepared for this moment, but no one had expected it quite so soon. We need more time, Sam insisted. Another 5 years of development and we could match their technology. We don't have 5 years, Olivia replied. We might not have 5 days. The next morning, long-range sensors detected a Council fleet entering the outer solar system. The Voth had not waited for the full Council vote. They had taken matters into their own hands. 10 ships, Ryan Kelly reported from the Defiance. Heavy cruisers by the look of them. Definitely Voth design. Admiral, Laura Dixon called from her station. I'm receiving a transmission from the lead Voth ship. It's Admiral Krath, head of the Council Enforcement Division. The alien face that appeared on the screen was reptilian with hard scales and eyes like black glass. When Krath spoke, his voice was deep and cold. Humans of Earth. I am Admiral Krath of the Galactic Council. Your planet has violated quarantine restrictions and acquired technology beyond your approved development level. You will surrender all alien technology and submit to Council authority immediately. Olivia stepped forward. Admiral Krath, Earth has broken no laws. We were contacted by species who disagreed with the Council's policies. We accepted their friendship and knowledge. We have the right to determine our own path. You have no rights under Council law, Krath replied sharply. You are an undeveloped species under quarantine. Your alien collaborators will be punished. Your technology will be confiscated. Comply or face the consequences. The transmission ended abruptly. He's not here to negotiate, Ryan said over the secure channel. The Voth have always been hardliners about council authority. Battle stations, Olivia ordered. Activate the defense grid, all ships to ready positions, but hold fire unless fired upon. Across the solar system, Earth's hidden defenses powered up. The Defiance and 5 other ships moved to intercept the Voth fleet. On Luna and Mars, weapon platforms that had been disguised as research stations revealed their true nature. Earth's leaders watched from the command center as the Voth fleet approached. They had hoped for more time, for diplomatic solutions, for council moderates to prevail. But the Voth had forced their hand. They're launching fighters, Ryan reported from the Defiance, and targeting our orbital platforms. Hold position, Olivia ordered. Let them fire first. The first Voth attack came quickly. Energy beams lanced out from their lead ship targeting Earth's communication satellites. The primitive technology was vaporized instantly. They're trying to cut us off from our allies, Laura said. Standard Voth tactic. Now? Ryan asked over the comm. Now, Olivia confirmed. Defend Earth. The Defiance and her sister ships accelerated toward the Voth fleet. For a moment, the alien vessels seemed confused by the sudden appearance of human warships where none should exist. The battle was joined in the space between Earth and Mars. Energy weapons flashed across the void. The Voth ships were larger and more heavily armed, but the human vessels were faster and more maneuverable. Direct hit on the Voth flagship, Ryan reported, his voice tight with tension. Their shields are holding but weakening. 2 human ships were damaged in the initial exchange, but the Voth had clearly not expected such resistance. Their formation broke as they tried to adapt to the unexpected threat. Admiral, Laura called out. I'm detecting new ships entering. The system, not Voth design. For a terrible moment, Olivia feared the Council had sent reinforcements, but then she saw the familiar configurations on the sensor display. Athari ships, she breathed. They came. 3 large vessels of Athari design dropped out of FTL near Jupiter and moved to flank the Voth fleet. Their arrival changed the balance of the battle instantly. Admiral Krath, Olivia transmitted. Your attack on Earth is unauthorized by the full Council. The Athari delegation has arrived to witness your illegal aggression. Stand down your forces immediately. There was a long pause before Krath responded. This planet has violated Council law. The quarantine must be enforced. The Council makes laws, Admiral, came a new voice as an Athari representative joined the transmission. Not the Voth alone. Your fleet's presence here without full Council. Approval is itself a violation. The battle paused as the ships held position. For tense minutes nothing happened. Then slowly, the Voth vessels began to withdraw. They're retreating, Ryan reported, disbelief in his voice. All Voth ships are moving out of weapons range. In the command center, there was no celebration. Everyone knew this was just the beginning. The Council could not ignore Earth any longer. The secret was out. What happens now? Sam Cooper asked quietly. Olivia watched the display as the Voth fleet moved away from Earth. Now the real battle begins, not with weapons, but with words. The entire galaxy will soon know that humans have advanced beyond the Council's plans for us. News spread quickly through the galactic communication networks. Earth had not only survived a Voth attack, but had fought back effectively. Questions were raised in the Council chambers. How had a quarantined planet acquired such technology? Who had helped them? And most importantly, what should be done about it now? The Council was thrown into its greatest crisis in centuries, and at the center of it all was a small blue planet whose people had refused to stay isolated and ignorant. 1 year had passed since the battle with the Voth fleet. The Galactic Council chambers looked very different now. Where once there had been only alien representatives from the 87 member species, today a human woman stood at the central podium. President Diane Foster, Earth's first representative to the Reformed Council, addressed the gathered delegates. At 62, she had the quiet confidence of someone who had seen history change course and had helped steer that change. Fellow citizens of the galaxy, she began, using the new formal greeting that had replaced the old council protocols. The trade agreement between Earth and the Rigelian systems has been finalized. Our engineers will help rebuild their atmospheric processors, and in exchange, we will receive access to their crystal computing technology. Voices murmured around the chamber, mostly in approval. A few delegates still looked uncomfortable with a human in their midst, but most had accepted the new reality. Earth was now a voting member of the Galactic Council, which itself had been reformed and renamed the Galactic Union. The changes had come swiftly after the Voth attack on Earth. The unauthorized military action had divided the Council, with many species questioning the quarantine policy that had been standard for thousands of years. When the truth emerged about how many Council species had been secretly trading with Earth, the old system had collapsed. In the chamber's viewing gallery, Admiral Olivia Wright watched with pride. Now in her 60s, she had seen Earth transform from an isolated world to a respected galactic power. Beside her stood Trelvak, the Athari elder who had been their most steadfast ally. "Your people have changed the galaxy more in 1 year than we did in 1,000, Trelvak observed. "It is remarkable." "We had help," Olivia replied. "Without allies like you, we would have remained isolated." "Perhaps. But it was humanity's unique qualities that made the difference. Your adaptability, your diplomatic skills, your ability to bring diverse groups together." After the meeting, Olivia returned to Earth on a regular transport ship. 5 years ago, such a journey would have been secret and dangerous. Now dozens of ships traveled between Earth and other worlds every day. Tourism, trade, and cultural exchange had flourished as the quarantine barriers fell. At the main spaceport outside Geneva, Captain Will Torres waited to greet her. Young and eager, Will represented the new generation of humans who had grown up, knowing about alien species and the wider galaxy. "Admiral, the crew is assembled and ready," he reported. "The Horizon is fully supplied and prepared for departure." The Horizon was the flagship of the Joint Species Exploration Initiative. Under Will's command, the ship would carry scientists from 12 different species into uncharted space beyond the galaxy's rim. "How are the alien crew members adapting?" Olivia asked as they walked toward the shuttle that would take them to the orbiting vessel. "Better than expected. Dr. Cooper's universal translator technology has made all the difference. Even species that never communicated directly before can now work together." Sam Cooper's team had created the revolutionary translation technology by combining knowledge from multiple alien language systems. It was just one example of how humans had found new solutions by seeing connections that others had missed. In orbit above Earth, the Horizon waited. The massive ship was twice the size of any vessel humans had built before, designed to sustain its diverse crew for years of exploration. As Olivia toured the ship, she saw the future unfold before her eyes. Humans worked alongside aliens from across the galaxy, sharing knowledge and building a common understanding. In the ship's science lab, a Vexnari researcher collaborated with a human physicist on new propulsion theories. In the medical bay, Praxi doctors trained human colleagues in advanced surgical techniques. "It's everything we hoped for," Olivia said quietly to Will as they finished the tour. "When Ziltox first landed 21 years ago, this seemed impossible." "Where is Ziltox now?" Will asked. "I've read about him in the history books, but never met him." "Trading in the Andromeda Galaxy, last I heard," Olivia smiled. "Still breaking rules and finding new opportunities." Back on Earth, change was everywhere. Cities gleamed with clean energy technology. Hospitals had eliminated most diseases using alien medical knowledge. Schools taught children about the diverse species of the galaxy alongside human history. President Foster returned from the council, meeting to a different sort of gathering. On the surface of Luna, where the secret alien base had once hidden from council patrols, a monument was being dedicated. It honored the alien traders who had defied the council and changed humanity's destiny. Thousands of people, both human and alien, gathered for the ceremony. Ben Harlow, now an elderly man, spoke to the crowd about the early days when just a few hundred alien refugees had lived in fear of discovery. They risked everything to share knowledge that the Council wanted. To keep restricted, he said. Without their courage, we might still be isolated, unaware of the wonders beyond our solar system. The monument itself was simple but beautiful. A spiral of light rose from the lunar surface containing the names of every alien species that had helped Earth advance despite the Council's restrictions. After the ceremony, Diane Foster and Laura Dixon walked together through the memorial garden that surrounded the monument. "Remember when we thought the Voth would destroy us?" Laura asked with a wry smile. "I never doubted we would survive," Diane replied. "But I never imagined we would thrive like this." "The Voth delegation has requested to establish an embassy in Washington," Laura noted. "Times really have changed. Even the Voth, who had once led the attack on Earth, now sought closer ties. Their rigid adherence to Council authority had given way to pragmatic cooperation as the old order changed. As night fell over the lunar memorial, Earth rose over the horizon, beautiful and blue. Around it orbited ships from a dozen worlds, bringing visitors, traders, and knowledge. On the far side of the moon, the Joint Species University was preparing for its first academic year, with students from across the galaxy. In his laboratory, beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Sam Cooper put the finishing touches on a new project. At 75, he still worked every day, driven by the possibilities of combining human creativity with alien knowledge. "Is it ready?" asked his young assistant, a brilliant physicist from the Athari homeworld. "Almost," Sam replied, making a final adjustment to the device. "This will change everything again." The quantum communication system they were developing would allow instant connection across vast distances. It would unite the galaxy as never before, bringing together worlds separated by light years. As a new day dawned on Earth, Captain Will Torres stood on the bridge of the horizon and gave the order to depart. The massive ship moved away from Earth, orbit, carrying representatives of a dozen species toward the unknown. From the observation deck, he watched his homeworld recede. "Course plotted for the galactic rim, Captain," his navigator reported. "We're making history." Will smiled. "That's what humans do best." The horizon accelerated to FTL speed, disappearing in a flash of light. Behind it, Earth continued its journey, from isolated world to galactic center of innovation and cooperation. The Council had tried to keep humanity contained and controlled, but when aliens ignored those orders, humans had taken full advantage of the opportunity and changed the galaxy forever.